660, The Answer.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And business, we talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. You could call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. We are powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solution center. You can give them a call at 630-928-0510, 630-928-0510, or check out their website, which is jam-packed with a ton of resource content and information, tandemhr.com. So joining me here in studio is somebody that I think I know you. I think I've seen you around before. It's actually my father. It's Moshe Klein, president and CEO of Moshe Klein and Associates, an affordable bookkeeping and accounting firm. And it's a pleasure to have you here in studio. You've never actually come out and visited me here in the past.
No, probably because I haven't been invited. But one mystery is solved. At least I now know where you are every Sunday night and why you can't stay for dinner.
That's very true. Very, very true. So you've been in the world of accounting for a long time, in fact, longer than I've been alive, and you've worked with a lot of different businesses and a lot of different clients. Tell us a little bit about today, who you work with.
Well, Shalom, first of all, it's great to be here. You've got a wonderful show, and I enjoy it every Sunday night. I'm glad to be a part of it here this evening. We work primarily with small businesses, and yes, small business did exist before you were born. I've been in business since 1982, and right now we offer small businesses bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and payroll services. We do that very affordably, by the way.
And you are not like other accountants in the sense of their sometimes outrageous hourly fees. You don't charge by the hour. How do you bill? And when you talk about affordable, that's a term that's knocked around quite a bit. What is affordable? What should a small business be looking for in terms of fees?
Well, first of all, we never charge hourly fees. We charge a flat monthly rate. It's been my belief and continues to be my belief that you shouldn't pay your accountant more than you yourself are earning. Our fees start at $99 a month, and that includes full bookkeeping and accounting services.
Well, that's a good deal, and there's a lot of different businesses. Like they say, no fingerprint is alike, no business is alike. Every business is unique in terms of their needs. How is it possible to provide a prepackaged sort of a model of a service and provide the outcomes, the reports that every business needs for both a restaurant and a dry cleaner and perhaps many other types of services? Perhaps tell us a little bit about how you got to that business model and how and what businesses can expect from that service.
Well, that's a great question. It took us about 35 years. I think we finally figured it out. While no two businesses are alike, bookkeeping is fundamentally the same for all small businesses. So not only do we do it, I think, very well, very professionally, we set aggressive but achievable objectives for each of our clients. But we have developed some proprietary software that helps us along the way. Basically, that software automates a good chunk of the bookkeeping process, so we're able to have less people working at the firm, producing more bookkeeping results for more clients.
So as we talk today, we're at the end of August of 2016. August is certainly, we feel it in the temperature today that summer is quickly coming to an end, which for some of us that's exciting, for some of us that's depressing. but we are not quite in the winter season. It's not quite cold, and it's not quite tax season. Why are you here? Why are you talking to us about bookkeeping and accounting now? Why is it important that businesses pay attention to these issues at this time?
That's also a great question, Shalom. As you know, one of the things that we see probably more often than we'd like to are small businesses that come to us that don't have any bookkeeping processes in place. We work exclusively with QuickBooks, but we know that there are many other software applications. There are clients that come to us even in August, even in September, even in October, that have no bookkeeping in place, not only for the current fiscal year, but for prior years as well. The message, or one of the most important things that I'd like to communicate today, is that if you don't have a bookkeeping process in place, whether you do it in-house or outsource it to an organization like ours, there's thousands of them across the country, it's not too late, and it's not very expensive, and it's not very complicated, and I highly recommend it. It's professional advice to your listening audience.
And I know, obviously, we're rapidly approaching the third quarter of the year, so certainly this is a timely conversation for businesses and business owners to be paying attention to these issues. So once again, we're chatting with my father, actually, Moshe Klein of Moshe Klein and Associates, MK&A We'll be sure to share more contact information in just a few minutes. But I'm curious. There's a great business model over here, and obviously you're not sacrificing on the quality of the services provided, and that's because of, and you alluded to it earlier, the 35 years of experience. That is, for some of our listeners that don't know me yet, that's longer than I have been around. But 35 years, that's a lot of experience. Tell us a little bit about how you've gotten to this place and why business owners should trust you with what's their deepest, darkest secrets that they've been hiding away, sometimes not in such an organized manner.
Well, I consider myself very much like a doctor of finance in a sense. When somebody has something that they're not comfortable with physically, an ailment of some sorts, they really have to go to a doctor, get professional advice, be diagnosed, and really open up to that doctor fully in order to get the proper diagnosis and treatment. It's really no different in our field of bookkeeping and accounting, finance, and credit. Businesses come to us all the time. I really sometimes think I've seen it all, and then yet something new comes in that surprises me a bit, but it doesn't scare me. We have businesses that come to us that have never filed a tax return for 10 or more years. We have businesses that are still saving receipts in shopping bags. You
mean you're not supposed to do that?
Well, we hope that you save it in a shopping bag, but put it into some better a receptacle before you get it to our office.
Duly noted.
But believe it or not, we still do work with clients with a smile on our face that come into the office with a shopping bag filled with receipts.
Well, for our listeners in the city of Chicago, shopping bags are no longer encouraged. It's paper, no longer any plastic. So just sharing important regulation and important updates. So we are quickly running out of time, but once again, chatting with Moshe Klein, my father, Moshe Klein and Associates. We'll be sure to share contact information momentarily. One bit of advice, Moshe, that you want to share with our listeners, that if they really don't know anything about bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, that they should implement this week before the end of August, what should they do, either in business or in accounting?
Well, reach out and try and make contact with a bookkeeper or an accountant. If you haven't done so yet, it's not too late. And be honest and ask that professional for advice. What should I do if this is the situation I'm in right now? Don't put it off any longer. That's the best advice.
Don't delay.
Don't delay.
Don't delay. So you provided some great tips, great information, certainly explained a little bit about your experience, and obviously talked a lot about the unique services affordable services that the firm provides for bookkeeping and accounting for small businesses. So how can our listeners reach you to learn more and continue the conversation?
Well, everyone is welcome to call. We take calls 24/6. We're closed on Saturday, and I can be reached at Moshe, Moshe, at mkabusiness.com. And our toll-free number is 888-432-8187. And our website is www.mkabusiness.com.
Okay, fantastic. 888-432-8187, mkabusiness.com. Thank you so much for finally visiting me here in studio. We'll be sure to have you back before the beginning of tax season. Coming up, we have Linda Nichols, returning guest, who's going to talk to us a little bit about some of the things that recent grads should know on an interview and questions that companies interviewing recent grads should know. You're listening to Get Down to Business.